Hey everyone, Danelle here with Texas Real Estate Talk. I hope you all are doing amazing. I am on my way to look at a property, show a property, do a video on a property, the whole works, in attempts to sell.
In about 10 miles, turn left onto State Highway 154.
My GPS is going off. I don't know if you heard that or not, but my GPS is going off. So anyways, I thought I would take just a hot minute and talk to you all again. I know I have been non-existent for a while. I've had some things come up, y'all. So real estate kind of did take a little bit of a back burner. I felt like it was the right thing to do for my clients and for potential clients, rather than give them, not my full attention. I just took a little time off, and that's kind of what I did, which is, totally fine. But I am back, and I am, got a few listings coming up, and a few different things, and I'm working on building my channel up. And I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about a conversation I had yesterday. I had a listing appointment with a potential client, and she is a for sale by owner client. She had put up on Facebook that she did not want to work with an agent, but she had this property and it was priced right, and it had all of the criteria that a couple of my buyers are looking for. So I reached out and asked her if she'd be willing to pay buyer's fees, which after discussing, she said she was. And we kind of talked back and forth a little bit. Then she said, well, let's talk more about selling. I said, okay, sounds good. So we set up an appointment. We did a Zoom call yesterday. Went really well. I really, really loved her. She was absolutely amazing. But what kills me is her reasoning for not wanting to use an agent. So this house has been on the market before. She used an agent who's local. I know who she is. I know her family. So she had it on the market, and in 6 months, that property only sold or showed 3 times. It never sold. And she was heartbroken. Come to find out that the agent that she used had some religious preferences, which are fine, but was unavailable to show the property on the weekends, was unavailable to show the property on the evenings, did nothing but basically put a sign in the yard and walk away. That happens, y'all, and I freaking hate it. It drives me insane. How an agent can do such a half service just blows my mind. But we're going to talk about the 3 ways in which this affected people, not just the agent, but people all around, okay? Number 1, it definitely affected my client, because this agent didn't disclose to her that, number 1, that she wasn't going to be available to show on the weekends and the nights. She didn't disclose to her that she wasn't going to be able to, and didn't have a backup plan to make sure that her house got seen when it needed to be seen. So, I guess my client should have maybe asked that question, but being she had never sold before, she never did. So this agent did disclose this. She hurt my client. My client never sold a property. All of her hopes and dreams crushed. And truthfully, the way this house is priced, and as nice as it is, it should have sold to an investor within a month. I mean, it should have sold really quick, but it did not. Okay, tells you just a little bit that this agent basically put a sign on the side on the road, threw it in the MLS, and just said, "Hey, that's all I have to do." She never sold that property. She put a bad taste in my potential client's mouth. She really made her not trust agents, because she didn't disclose those things. She felt like she lied to her. She misled her. She was paying that woman, 6% out of her commission to do her a service, and she didn't even give it a full effort. Okay, she didn't even give 100%. She didn't even give 50%, if you ask me, based on what my client said. Now, obviously, there are 2 sides to every story, but yes, it hurt that agent. Number 1, it hurt her reputation, because if that client is telling me, she's also telling other people. So now people are going, well, I don't want to use her. Well, and if this client has 10, 15 friends, and 5 of those friends sell their house eventually, and they say, hey, do you have an agent you suggest? She's probably going to come out and say, you know what? I suggest, number 1, not using an agent, because now she's for sale by owner, keep in mind. Number 2, if you do use an agent, don't use this one. Okay, so she hurt herself. Not only did she hurt herself, she hurt a brokerage, because now she represents a brokerage too that has multiple agents. Okay, so look bad on all of them. And then it hurt my client, broke all her hopes and dreams, broke her trust in agents in general, which leads me to the next one. She hurt agents across the world, pretty much. She hurt agents in the area, because now she is putting on Facebook that she doesn't want to use an agent. She doesn't trust agents. She's fueling the fire as to how bad agents are. She's giving us a bad reputation by not doing the service that she was paid to do. So there's a couple hundred agents in this area. A couple hundred agents are going to lose business over this. Now, it might not be directly. It might not be whatever. And honestly, me and this lady have had great conversations, and I feel like she's going to list with me, and I think it'll be okay, and I will fix this, and I will change it around, and I will save us in the end. But that's not always the case. She might have actually sold that for sale by owner. And trust me, I have nothing against people who sell for sale by owner, other than it makes me scared for them. It makes me worry about them. I worry that there's going to be something not done properly, and somebody's going to get sued, and something bad's going to happen, and then dreams of home ownership become nightmares. And y'all, this is what I'm trained to prevent. So for someone to straight up not want to use my services because another agent did her a disservice is horrible. So, real estate talk. Here's what I'm getting at. Here's the moral of the entire story. Number one, if you are hiring an agent, interview your agent. Interview your agent. Ask them the important questions. What's your marketing strategy? How are you going to sell this property? If you don't like their answers, or if you feel like they don't have a plan, don't use them. Move on to the next one. There's more, I promise, okay? Ask them, are you going to be available on the weekends and at night? What happens if someone wants to see the property and you're not available to show and you can't work any other time out? Okay? What are you going to do? I can tell you what I'm going to do. Let me tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to call another agent in my brokerage, because we have a large brokerage that works very close, more like a team than we do competition, for sure. Like, I could call at least 10 people in our office and they would show a property for me. I might have to give them some commission. I might have to pay them a little bit of money. I might have to train some of the new people and say, hey, open the door for me. I might even have to just cancel my plans and take care of my client, which I am happy to do, okay? I have a plan for if I am unavailable and if there's no way around it. Now, obviously, if my son has a baseball game at 6 o'clock and we're going to be done by 7:30, I will try to push it to 7:30, or I'll try to do it at like 4 o'clock. I will try to work, and most people are willing to work. But if you're just simply unavailable on the weekends, unavailable after 4 o'clock in the evenings, that's something you need to know as a buyer or as a seller or whatever it is. Those are things you need to know. Number two, if you are, which I don't even know, that might not be the right number. I don't know where I'm at. But another thing I'm getting at is, if you're interviewing an agent, so you've asked them their marketing plan, you've asked them how they handle their availability, ask them, you always want to know your commission, obviously, and then also ask them, the contract requirements. So what happens if you're unhappy? Can you back out of this contract? Are you obligated to stay with an agent that you don't want for 6 months? I mean, when I spoke with this potential client for sale by owner, we discussed going with a shorter term, and if she was happy with my services, then we can renew that listing. It's not a big deal to me. And I'm going to tell you, if a client is unhappy with my services, which I'm not worried about, so I'm okay with them backing out of our contract. I don't want to work with anybody who doesn't want to work with me. So if they want to back out of that contract, that's fine. Contract still needs to be in place, really and truly, because sometimes people just kind of go under the table, and they might not even really realize it, and that's probably a whole nother conversation, whole nother education type thing. But contract to me, if we are not happy, if we do not work together, if I don't provide you the service, if something pops up and my life falls apart and I can't be available to you, I want you free to see another agent. I have actually, in the course of my several years, have given my listings to other agents in the office that I know will do them a good service because I knew I wasn't going to be available to them. It's honorable and the right thing to do. Doesn't happen often. I've only done it once, I think. No, I think just one time. But I needed that. I had a death in the family, and it took over a lot. It really broke me, and I needed some time. So my clients were okay with it. The agent I gave it to was okay with it. She ended up selling their property really fast. I put them in good hands. So make sure you are doing your due diligence and working with the right agent. If you are an agent, do your job. Do your job. Because you hurt a lot of people by simply not doing what you're supposed to do. Just breaks my heart. Hopefully I can turn this one around. I'm pretty sure she will list with me. I will find out. But y'all, I'm almost there. I'm almost to this showing. I'm so excited to get this new video, this listing up. I'm so pumped. So keep an eye out. Make sure you like, subscribe, and all the good stuff. If you have any comments or concerns about what we just discussed, I would love to hear it. So put it in the comments. Bye, y'all. Have a good day.